What do Rick Ross, Pitbull, and Diplo all have in common? If you said they're from South Florida, then you'd be correct. South Florida in recent years has come to prominence due to the fact that it boasts such unique sound. Denzel Curry, my topic for today, is one such sound. Curry and other South Floridians utilize that unique sound to carve out a niche in the music industry, specifically in hip-hop. Curry began rapping in the early 2010s, but wouldn't get his breakthrough until the mid-2010s. Following his breakthrough, Curry would go on to release 2 albums and a multitude of singles that broadcast that South Floridian sound along with his own unique sound. I started listening to Denzel in 2018, and since then he has become a mainstay in all of my playlists. What makes Curry's sound so unique is his South Floridian roots and own versatility. Now that I've introduced him, I'm going to briefly talk about his origins along with South Florida's unique sound. Denzel Curry was born in February 16th in Carol City, Miami. Another notable resident of the suburb is Rick Ross. Curry's unique relationship with Carol City is described as watching a handshake unfold by Sheldon Pierce in his Pitchfork review of Zoo. Curry, who utilizes a lot of references to Carol City, is also known as a dark and gritty rapper. South Florida's unique sound is a mixture of Cuban, Latino, Spanish, African American, and Native American roots, all coming together in a melting pot. Other notable rappers from South Florida include the late XXXTentacion, Ski Mask the Slum God, and Kodak Black. Moving on from Curry's origins in South Florida sound, I'm going to talk about his actual discography. Denzel Curry would begin rapping in 2011, but wouldn't release his first album until 2013 with the album Nostalgic 64. It wouldn't be until 2015 that Curry would go on to release Ultimate, the meme song that brought him to his most relevancy. At the time, Curry was known as a dark and gritty rapper, and at the same time, SoundCloud, a music streaming platform, was coming to prominence. Curry, at the behest of his manager, would hop on to SoundCloud early on and become one of the first SoundCloud rappers. In an interview with Pitchfork, Curry would go on to say, "The first song we released was Dark and Violent. After that, we released more songs and saw everything climb, streams and comments." In 2016, Curry would be featured on the XXL freshman list for that year. XXL is a famous hip-hop magazine known for its UMB freshman editions, in which 10 up-and-coming rappers are featured. 3 of the activities that they partake in is a group freestyle known as the group cypher, a solo freestyle, and the actual cover shoot. Then Lil Dicky, another freshman, would call this a huge honor and a hip-hop rite of passage, as so many other greats have been on these covers. Now that I've talked about his early discography, I'm going to separate it into his later discography. Following his feature on the XXL freshman list, Curry would go on to release his 4th studio album, Taboo, which is cut into 3 different acts. There's Light, in which Curry talks about his light at the time, which is more lyrical heavy than musical production heavy. Gray, which is a mixture of both light and dark, the final act. In Gray, Curry begins to come to terms with who he is and his role in the music industry. Finally, in Dark, Curry comes to terms with who he is and he makes a declaration. In Black Metal Terrorist, Curry screams, and in a head-banging song, he tells the music industry that he's the Black Metal Terrorist and that this is who he is. Curry, as described by Andrew Hayes in his article on Taboo for the Campus Live, the Anoka Ramsey Community College, goes that this is his declaration that he is the king, whether it be light, gray, or dark. What makes Curry's discography so unique is that even before he blew up, he had so much music out there, much like George Lucas had multiple movies before he became famous with Star Wars. Moving on from albums, Denzel would go on to release a number of singles. From hard rock, you have songs such as Bulls on Parade, a cover by the Rage Against the Machine classic, and Lemonade, another mosh pit rock song with Lemonade. Not just to be known as a dark and gritty rapper, Denzel Curry would go on to release Lemonade with Youngblood, but also show off his more energetic side. In Tokyo Drifting with Glass Animals, Denzel Curry shows off that he even has the ability to have fun with his rap. In addition, he would go on to release Bands with Yo Gotti, Destructo, and Kevin Gates, once again showing off just how fun he can be. Curry also released the album Zoo at the time, which is an ode to his hometown. In the first song, Zoo, Curry can even be seen saying, "This is what you made me, Carol City that raised me." In the album cover, Curry can be seen wearing a Miami Marlins jersey, as well as the actual album covers feature that of the University of Miami's colors. Now that I've talked about Curry's discography and his early roots, I'm going to recap. Denzel Curry was born in February 1995 in Carroll City, Miami. He boasts a unique sound that comes just from South Florida's unique sound as well. Although he didn't start rapping until 2011, he caught his big break in 2016. This 2016 big break featured being on the XXL Freshman Edition. Following this, he would go on to release 2 albums, Taboo and Zoo. With those 2 albums, he also released a wave of singles that helped him to rise to prominence. Denzel Curry uses such a unique sound that he creates a very unique discography. I started listening to Denzel in 2018, but I think it's well worth a listen to anyone interested in his music.